Here we are on location at historic Bristol, Rhode Island, home of the world-famous Herreshoff Manufacturing Company. Designers and builders of 6 America Cup winners with over 100 years experience building beautiful yachts. We're here today with Halsey Herreshoff, and he is the grandson of Nat Herreshoff, which is Captain Nat. There's a picture behind us here, and there's an awful lot to tell, the story of the Herreshoff Museum here. Can you tell us a little bit about what made the family famous and why Captain Nat is so famous in his own right?
Well, of course, as you well know, we live where there's the finest bay in America for sailing. And so my grandfather and his many brothers, at a young age, began to sail. And they crossed the street from where we're located here, where they lived, and started to build boats. And he became the most renowned designer and builder of yachts in the world. And for a period of 3 decades, his boats won more trophies in competition in America than all the other naval architects combined. And so this all started right here in Bristol with these boats launched on Narragansett Bay. And so it is a very important element of the traditions of our great bay.
So Halsey, can you tell us a little bit about the relationship between Captain Nat and the Brown family?
We're descended from John Brown, who started Brown University. That would have been my grandfather's grandfather. And there was a definite technological background from the German antecedents from Germany. And my grandfather's father was a sailor, but not really a technician. But Captain Nat had a bent for mathematics, engineering. He specialized in the design and building of steam engines. He attended Massachusetts Institute of Technology. And I think one of the reasons for his success was that he was the first yacht designer to bring real technology to that game. Captain Nat, you see, lived right down the street. Twice a day he would come up to the company, circulate all through the shops, and look at every piece of work going on. And he carried a little stub pencil, and when he saw something he wanted to amplify a change, he'd make a little sketch, give it to the foreman, and then when he came back in the afternoon, that would all be done. So he had this ultimate feedback. And he started with a blank sheet of paper, and he designed the shape of the boats with models, which are all around this room here. We have his great collection of models. We've been able to retain and put on display here in this model room my collection of these models. There are 525 in all.
Wow. And
I think it's fair to say that they, here in our little state of Rhode Island, on the shores of the finest bay in America, they were a very important part of this story. Wouldn't have happened but for Narragansett Bay. Well, I'd like to show you our simulation of Captain Nat's workshop. This is a place where we have collected all of his tools. He had a metalworking lathe that he used to use for making prototype fittings and sometimes turning test samples to test materials. And we have all of his original tools.
Wow.
Saved just the way they were. He had sort of the perfect workshop. And over here, on this workbench, is the location where he made his models. And another project here, but I'll show you how the models were set up. He had a special type of block which was screwed to the back of a model. This is a model that I'm making of a powerboat. And you can put that right in the vise like this. I guess I'll turn it around this way. And then you can work on it. We have a lot of nice chisels. And finally, we finish up the models using special planes. These are made with a certain shape so that you can get into the corners. This has got a curve to it, so it goes into this hollow area and enables you to make the shape just what you want.
Can you tell us why there's an airplane model here in the boat building?
Well, that's a very interesting question. You know, the company wasn't called the Herreshoff Boat Company or the Herreshoff Yacht Company. It was called the Herreshoff Manufacturing Company. And they built cars, and they built engines, both steam engines and a few gasoline engines. And they also built about 20 elements of airplanes. They built the hulls and pontoons. And this particular plane, which is a wonderful model made by Don Bosquet, a Rhode Islander, and his son, this represents the famous airplane NC-4. 10 years before Lindbergh's flight, there was a race between the navies of the world to be the first to cross the Atlantic Ocean. And the United States Navy built 4 airplanes. And the one that had the Harrisoff hull and the Harrisoff pontoons was the only one that succeeded in the trip. And they made a record flight from Long Island to Lisbon, Portugal in 1919.
1919. When did Lindbergh fly?
1929. We often look back at what my grandfather did, and quite a number of times, we've thought of some new great idea. We go back and we find out he did it 100 years ago. So certainly his experience is both directly helpful to us and certainly a terrific inspiration.